Up next for My Story, All of Us Against Cancer, please welcome Dr. Dara Richardson-Heron, the Chief Engagement Officer for the All of Us Research Program at the NIH.
My parents told me that by the time I reached the ripe old age of 2, I was absolutely convinced that I could wield power and influence as a leader. They also shared that during my terrific 2s, I declared to them and anyone else who would listen that I wanted to be a doctor. Now, suffice to say that I had not yet wielded the kinds of skills that one should have as a doctor. That's me right there. But I thought I knew what was going on. And oddly enough, the people that I was attempting to lead, my 2 older sisters and my parents, were not at all interested in being led by me, a gangly 2-year-old who had not fully graduated from diapers. I am happy to say that I did go on to fully graduate from diapers, and then I graduated from elementary school, high school, and college, and I was accepted into my first choice medical school, New York University. It was actually during my second year at New York University where I first wanted to run cancer out of town. I got a call from my dad, and my dad said, "Dara, I'm so sorry to tell you, your mom has been diagnosed with breast cancer." I was paralyzed with fear. I didn't know what my mom's diagnosis would mean for me and my family. It was really just too scary to think about. And as a second-year medical student, I didn't know much, but what I did know about cancer was not good. So I just had to compartmentalize it and focus on my studies. And I'm happy to tell you that 2 years after that fateful call, I did in fact achieve my dream of becoming a doctor. But the best part of it all was that my mom, my beautiful mom, was right there beside me when I did it. I went on to study at New York University doing my internship and residency, and it was there where I realized that health disparities are real. I saw patients with late-stage diagnosis, many through no fault of their own, but simply because they didn't have access to health care. Those were truly formative moments for me and really helped shape my career as a non-traditional physician. I wanted to be able to impact more than I could typically impact in a normal medical practice. And thanks to the advice and support of my many mentors, I was able to chart a non-traditional course as a physician at a time when it was not the norm to do so. And life was moving along as planned. Shortly after I completed my residency, I became the executive medical director at Con Edison, the electric company, not the typical place for a doctor, but I led a team of physicians that were providing healthcare and wellness services for over 16,000 employees. And there I also learned very important business skills, leadership skills, financial management skills that have stayed with me throughout my career and benefited me greatly. And it was there where I also met the sweetest guy in the world, the love of my life, Earl Heron. And we were married on August 9th, 1997. And we were on the mountaintop, and the view was spectacular. But just one short month after our wedding, our lives together took a very unfortunate turn. I was diagnosed with breast cancer. We were both devastated. It seemed so unfair. It was surreal. I was writing thank you notes and fighting for my life, all while huge clumps of my hair were falling out as a result of the treatment that would ultimately save my life. And I constantly asked the question, why me? How could this be happening to me? It seemed so fair, so unfair. I felt so helpless. And that same paralyzing fear that I felt when my mom was diagnosed came back raging with a vengeance. I was a hot mess. Some people think because you're a physician, you handle these things better. I was a hot mess. I was a steaming hot mess for weeks, even months. But then one day, I woke up and said, you know what? Sometimes when life throws you a major curveball, you got to figure out how to pull on your big girl pants and knock it out of the park. And I did just that. I stand before you as a 22-year and counting breast cancer survivor. Thank you. I was determined not to let cancer defeat me. In fact, I became determined to do whatever I could for however long I had left on this earth to make a difference in the lives of others. In the words of Winston Churchill, mountaintops inspire leaders, but valleys mature them. And let me be clear, my valley experience matured me in ways that were unimaginable. And while I would never, ever, ever wish this experience on anyone, I can assure you that it made me a better daughter, a better sister, a better wife, a better leader, and a better physician. I often describe myself as a physician by trade and an advocate by choice. And I've had the opportunity to serve in leadership roles in many noble organizations, from Susan G. Komen for the Cure, United Cerebral Palsy, the YWCA of the United States of America, and now in my coveted role as Chief Engagement Officer and Scientific Executive at the National Institutes of Health All of Us Research Program, a game-changing initiative designed to bring together 1 million or more individuals, diverse individuals from all walks of life, to share their data and information for research that will undoubtedly change the healthcare landscape as we know it. I know you may think I'm biased, but I can objectively tell you this program is transformational in so many ways, and I urge you to go to our website, joinallofus.org, to learn more, and I'll share a bit more on our panel later today. But as I close, let me just bring you back to the topic of today, cancer. Think about this. In this year alone, over 286,000 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. That's almost 800 women per day. In the short few minutes I've been on this stage, 6 more women will receive the diagnosis. And they'll face a harrowing statistic that they, as an African American woman, like me, she'll be 41% more likely to die of her breast cancer than her white counterparts. Those are precisely the types of disparities and inequities that the All of Us research program hopes to learn more about and eliminate. Dr. Glimcher just spoke about what's on the horizon and all the great advances that we have made in health and healthcare. And I, for one, am totally stoked and excited. Because like every one of you in this room, I can envision a world without cancer. A world in which cancer does not prevail, but instead, the people that we love and care about do. It has been my absolute pleasure to share my story with you and spend the morning with you. I do hope something that I've said will inspire you to continue to do the great work that you are doing. And I also hope that we can all join together to ring the closing bell against cancer once and for all, because what I know for sure is that it will take all of us, literally and figuratively. Thank you.